Okay, for the second half of what we did last night, we're going to be taking all of the skills that we've been comparison skills, the multiplying and the adding, and put them into the next 7 problems. On the left-hand side here, I will be writing either the equation or the comparison bars for you to refer to. And on the right over here, we will be writing type of comparison and the equation and answer. So what we're looking for is if we're doing an addition or if we're doing a multiplication. I'm going to read the first one. Nick and Liz both collect marbles. Liz has 4 times as many marbles as Nick. If Nick has 240 marbles, how many marbles does Liz have? Well, I heard those magic words, times as many. So I know that this is going to be a multiplication comparison. And I'm hearing that Liz has 4 times as many as Nick. So I know how many Nick has. If I multiply that by 4, I'll get how many Liz has. So I'm going to do just general multiplication, and I'm going to, I gave you the equation, 240 times 4 equals L. What does L equal? You need to answer that with a label on your form for tonight. So number 8 says Samantha has 145 fewer songs on her portable media player than Luke has on his portable media player. If Samantha has 583 songs, how many songs does Luke have? So I'm hearing the fewer kind of tips me off that this is going to be an addition comparison. And in this case, if the picture helps you, and then we have this little area right here. So if I were to be plugging in those numbers, I would say that, who do I want to find out? Luke. Samantha has 145 fewer songs on her portable media player than Luke has on his portable media player. If Samantha has 583 songs, how many songs does Luke have? So Luke has the more, is the way I'm reading this, because it says Samantha has 145 fewer songs. So we have 145 fewer songs than Luke. So this smaller one represents Samantha at 100, or what did she say? 583. So in order to figure out how many songs Samantha has, I have to add, or how much Luke has up here. I'm going to put a capital L. Luke equals 583 plus 145. Another way that this could be set up is that Samantha equals Luke minus 145. That is another way the equation can be set up. And I'm going to have you pick which equation you want and write it over here, but you have to put the answer on the form. So I'm going to be looking for how many songs Luke has. So Luke's songs. You need to fill that in on the form. Number 9, a large bookstore sold 19,813 books on Saturday and 22,964 books on Sunday. How many fewer books did the bookstore sell on Saturday than on Sunday? So if I'm looking at this, I'm looking at number 9, and I'm doing my picture, because for some of us, this picture really helps, especially as visual ones. I have Sunday with the bigger number, 22,964 books on Sunday. And on Saturday, there was 19,813. What it wants to know is how many fewer books were sold on Saturday. So what kind of comparison are we looking at? An addition one. And what would the equation look like? Well, you're going to be subtracting 22,964, take away 19,813 equals how many fewer books? Another way that could be, it could be written is 22,964 equals 19,813 plus those smaller amount of books. So on your form for number 9, I'm looking for how many fewer books. How many fewer books were sold on Saturday? Number 10. Last weekend, remember, you can pause at any time. If you write down your answers on your class book page, you will have those answers to fill in on your Google form. I'm trying to make it kind of, you are going to have to really pay attention to make sure you're filling in that Google form tonight. Number 10, last weekend, Mr. Morgan rode his bike 3 miles. This weekend, he rode his bike 21 miles. How many times as many miles did Mr. Morgan ride his bike this weekend as last weekend? There's those magic words. How many times as many? So I'm hearing that this comparison of numbers is going to be multiplication. Try that again. Last weekend, Mr. Morgan rode his bike 3 miles. This weekend, he rode his bike 21 miles. How many times as many miles did Mr. Morgan ride his bike? Well, you're all probably screaming at the screen right now, 7 times, 7 times. Well, the reason that works is because you're breaking up that 21 miles by the 3 miles he's already done. And that gives us, because we know that this 3 and the answer to this division problem are going to equal the greater number. So you're right, it is 7 times as many. And our equation would be 21 divided by 3 equals, let's just pick miles, M. Okay, so moving on to the next page. Okay, so now we're just going to read them, do the equation, and try not to do our pictures anymore. We don't want to get too attached to those because it's not always the most efficient use of our time. If you still need the picture, then you still need the picture, but I'm going to try and do this and talk you through it. So on number 11, we're looking at on the last day of school, 100 more students wore shorts than wore jeans. If 130 students wore jeans, how many students wore shorts? So I'm trying to figure out how many kids wore shorts. So shorts equals. It said 100 more students wore shorts than jeans. So I'm going to say 130 students wore jeans plus 100. So how many students wore shorts? 230 students wore shorts. Easy schmeezy, lemon squeezy on that one. Matthew completed a puzzle with 90 pieces. Wendy completed a puzzle with 5 times as many pieces. How many pieces are in Wendy's puzzle? So we have Wendy's puzzle. That's what we're trying to figure out. Wendy's completed it with 5 times as many pieces. So if Matthew has one with 90, we're going to multiply that 5 times. So then we'll get how many pieces are in Wendy's. And so we know that that's 450 pieces is Wendy's puzzle. All right, number 13. I'm kind of racing through these 3, but these ones were pretty easy. They're pretty straightforward. It's black and white. It's not a lot of confusion, I hope. There were 19,748 adults at a baseball game. There were 5,136 fewer children at the baseball game than there were adults. How many children were at the baseball game? So if I want to know how many children were at the baseball game, I need to take how many adults there were. There were 5,136 fewer children at the baseball game than there were adults. So I'm going to take that number away from my adult number, and I'll get how many children were there. And I'm going to have you do that subtraction and tell me that answer on our form. As a bonus, I'm going to be asking you to try Puzzled Penguin on your own and show me that answer in class for a Caught in the Act. Hope you have a great night.